Before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. The 4 Lincoln cents you're about to see may look ordinary, but the rare examples have stunned collectors with auction prices reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. From the classic wheat design to the memorial, bicentennial, and shield reverse, each coin has a story that could turn 1 cent into a life-changing discovery. Let's get started. First up, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny you come across. At first glance, it may seem like just another old 1-cent coin that has circulated for decades. But collectors know that some 1940 Philadelphia wheat pennies, especially those preserved in impressive condition, have achieved remarkable prices in major auctions. A coin that once purchased everyday necessities can now attract serious attention from collectors willing to spend more than $120,000 for the finest examples. The coin featured here is the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the absence of a mint mark beneath the date. Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year, making the date itself common. However, rarity is not always determined by mintage alone. The true value comes from exceptional preservation, strong eye appeal, historical importance, and fierce competition among advanced collectors searching for the very best surviving examples. On the front of the coin, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. In an extremely fine example, Lincoln's cheekbone shows only light wear, while many of the fine hair strands above the ear and across the head remain clearly visible. The facial details still appear sharp, giving the portrait a fresh appearance, despite decades of age. The inscriptions should also remain bold and easy to read. "In God we trust," across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1940 on the right should all display crisp lettering. Since this coin was struck in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark beneath the date. Many beginners mistakenly believe the missing mint mark indicates an error, but on 1940 Lincoln wheat pennies, the absence of a mint mark simply confirms production at the Philadelphia Mint. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the classic wheat reverse, featuring 2 wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. In an extremely fine specimen, the wheat lines remain well-defined, with only slight wear near the highest points. The lettering should appear bold, while the rim remains complete and sharply separated from the fields. Another important feature is the color of the coin. This example has attractive clean brown surfaces, which develop naturally over time as copper reacts with the environment. Collectors appreciate evenly toned brown coins when the surfaces remain smooth, original, and free from harsh cleaning or chemical damage. Natural color is always preferred over artificially bright or polished surfaces. Surface preservation also plays a major role in determining value. A high-end 1940 wheat penny should display minimal scratches, no heavy corrosion, and no significant environmental damage. The field should remain relatively clean, allowing the original design to stand out beautifully. Even tiny marks can influence the final auction result when buyers compete for premium quality coins. Many people wonder why a coin with such a large original mintage could ever become worth over $120. The answer lies in survival. While millions were produced, the overwhelming majority entered circulation immediately and remained in everyday use for years. Countless examples became heavily worn, damaged, cleaned, or eventually melted. Only a tiny number survived in exceptionally well-preserved condition, making elite examples surprisingly scarce today. Professional grading services have dramatically influenced the rare coin market. Collectors seeking investment-quality coins prefer pieces authenticated and graded by respected third-party grading companies. When a 1940 Philadelphia wheat penny receives an outstanding grade with exceptional eye appeal, bidding can become extremely competitive among registry set collectors who want the finest known examples. Historical significance also adds to the appeal. The year 1940 marked an important period in American history as the nation was recovering economically while global events were rapidly changing. Every Lincoln wheat penny produced that year quietly passed through the hands of Americans living during one of the most significant decades of the 20th century. Holding one today offers a direct connection to that remarkable era. Collectors also examine strike quality very carefully. Strong strikes reveal crisp lettering, well-defined wheat lines, and excellent detail throughout Lincoln's portrait. Although Philadelphia generally produced quality coins, slight differences in striking pressure mean some examples display noticeably sharper details than others. Those superior strikes often command stronger prices in the marketplace. If you own a 1940 wheat penny, resist the temptation to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the original surfaces and significantly reduce collector value. Even a gentle polishing attempt may leave microscopic scratches that experienced collectors immediately recognize. Original surfaces almost always bring higher prices than cleaned coins. Authentication is equally important. Valuable coins should always be evaluated by knowledgeable professionals before being offered for sale. Proper grading determines the coin's condition, confirms authenticity, and gives buyers confidence during major auctions. This added trust often translates into substantially higher selling prices. Although most 1940 Philadelphia wheat pennies remain affordable collectibles, extraordinary examples continue to surprise the hobby. A beautifully preserved coin with sharp details, attractive brown color, complete rims, and outstanding overall quality can become the centerpiece of an advanced collection. Under the right auction conditions, elite specimens have reached values exceeding $120,000, proving that even an ordinary-looking 1-cent coin can hide extraordinary potential. Next up, the 2010 Lincoln Shield penny you find in your pocket change because one ordinary-looking coin could deserve a much closer inspection. Most people spend these coins without a second thought, but collectors understand that exceptional examples of the 2010 Philadelphia Lincoln Shield cent, struck without a mint mark, can become highly desirable when preserved in remarkable condition. Under the right market conditions, elite collector-quality examples have been associated with auction prices exceeding $90,000, making this modern 1-cent coin one of the most fascinating pieces for Lincoln centy enthusiasts. The coin featured here is the 2010 Lincoln Shield penny, the first year of the Shield reverse design that replaced the famous wheat ears and memorial reverses. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means it carries no mint mark beneath the date. Many new collectors mistakenly assume the missing mint mark is an error, but for Philadelphia issues, the absence of a mint mark is completely normal and serves as the official identifying characteristic of the coin. The obverse continues to display the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. In this extremely fine condition, Lincoln's portrait shows only light to moderate circulation wear. The cheek, jawline, beard, and hair retain much of their original detail, while the highest points display only slight smoothing from years of careful circulation. The portrait remains attractive and immediately recognizable. The inscriptions are another important feature to examine. "In God We Trust" appears boldly above Lincoln's head, while "Liberty" remains crisp on the left side. The date 2010 is fully legible, and because this coin was produced in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark below the date. Every letter should appear sharp with no fading or excessive wear, demonstrating that the coin has remained well preserved despite entering circulation. Turning the coin over reveals one of the most significant changes in modern United States coinage. Instead of the Lincoln Memorial, the reverse displays a large Union shield representing national unity and the preservation of the United States as one nation. Across the top appears the motto, E Pluribus Unum, while a banner stretches across the shield bearing the denomination 1 cent. Around the edge is the inscription United States of America. In an extremely fine example, the shield lines remain well defined. The vertical stripes and horizontal bars still show impressive detail, although slight circulation wear can be seen on the highest points. Minor surface contact marks may be visible across both Lincoln's portrait and the reverse shield, but these marks are light and expected for a coin that experienced moderate circulation. This particular example also displays mild natural toning, giving the copper-plated surface an attractive appearance. Rather than appearing bright and freshly minted, the coin has developed gentle color changes that many collectors appreciate. Natural toning often adds character when it remains even and original, while harsh cleaning or artificial polishing usually lowers collector interest. Another feature that deserves careful inspection is the rim. A sharp, complete rim indicates the coin has avoided excessive wear or damage. Strong rims also protect the design elements from additional deterioration over time. Collectors pay close attention to rim quality because it reflects the overall preservation of the coin. Many people are surprised to hear that a modern penny could ever approach a value of $90. The explanation lies in the difference between ordinary circulated coins and extraordinary collector-quality survivors. Billions of Lincoln Shield pennies entered circulation beginning in 2010, but only a microscopic percentage remain in exceptional condition with outstanding eye appeal, original surfaces, and superior preservation. These elite examples become the focus of intense competition whenever they appear at major auctions. Professional grading plays an enormous role in determining market value. Coins certified by respected third-party grading companies receive an official grade that allows collectors to compare quality accurately. Registry-set collectors often compete for the highest-graded examples available, pushing prices dramatically higher whenever a superb coin enters the marketplace. The combination of rarity in top condition, strong demand, and limited availability can produce astonishing auction results. Strike quality is another factor that separates average coins from premium examples. A sharply struck 2010 Philadelphia Shield penny displays crisp lettering, bold shield lines, and well-defined portrait details. Coins struck with stronger pressure generally exhibit better eye appeal than examples with softer strikes, making them more attractive to advanced collectors. Collectors also inspect the surfaces under magnification. While this extremely fine example has minor surface contact marks, they are relatively small and do not distract from the overall appearance. There are no major scratches, deep gouges, severe corrosion, or environmental damage that would significantly reduce its desirability. One mistake many people make after finding an older or valuable-looking penny is cleaning it. Cleaning almost always harms a collectible coin by removing its original surface and creating fine scratches that experienced collectors immediately recognize. Even if a coin appears dull, leaving it in its natural state is almost always the better choice. Original surfaces consistently command stronger prices than polished or chemically treated examples. Storage is equally important. Copper-plated zinc cents can develop spots, discoloration, or corrosion if exposed to moisture or improper handling. Collectors recommend storing valuable coins in protective holders while handling them only by the edges to preserve their condition for future generations. If you believe you have an outstanding 2010 Philadelphia Lincoln Shield penny, consider having it authenticated and professionally graded before selling it. Certification provides confidence for buyers and can significantly increase interest during competitive auctions, especially when the coin receives a high grade. Although the vast majority of 2010 Lincoln Shield pennies are worth only face value, exceptional examples continue to prove that modern coins can achieve extraordinary prices. A beautifully preserved Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, displaying light circulation wear, mild toning, sharp rims, and excellent overall eye appeal, has the potential to become one of the most desirable modern Lincoln cents in the collecting community. With auction records for elite specimens surpassing $90,000, this coin reminds collectors that remarkable treasures are not always hidden in distant history. Sometimes they can still be found in everyday pocket change. Next up, the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny you come across. It may seem like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but the year 2009 holds a special place in American coin history. While millions of these coins entered circulation, a small number of exceptional examples have captured the attention of advanced collectors. In today's competitive rare coin market, outstanding collector-quality specimens have been associated with auction prices exceeding $180,000, proving that even a modern penny can become an extraordinary numismatic treasure. The coin featured here is the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial 1-cent struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the absence of a mint mark beneath the date. It's important to understand that the missing mint mark is not an error. Philadelphia cents from 2009 were intentionally produced without a mint mark, making this a normal feature rather than a valuable mistake. The year 2009 was especially significant because it celebrated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent series. To honor these milestones, the United States Mint introduced 4 unique reverse designs, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. The coin in this video features the reverse known as Lincoln's Professional Life in Illinois, showcasing the historic Illinois State Capitol building in Springfield, symbolizing Lincoln's rise as a lawyer and statesman before becoming the 16th President of the United States. On the front of the coin, you'll find Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln. In this very fine condition, the portrait displays moderate but attractive circulation wear. Some of the finer hair strands above Lincoln's ear have softened through years of use, yet much of the original design remains visible. The cheek, jawline, and coat details are still clearly defined, giving the coin an appealing appearance that collectors appreciate. The inscriptions are another important area to inspect. "In God We Trust" stretches boldly across the top, while "Liberty" appears clearly to Lincoln's left. The date, 2009, remains completely legible, and because this coin was struck in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark beneath the date. Every letter should remain crisp enough to read without difficulty, an important characteristic of a well-preserved, very fine example. Now turn the coin over to admire the special bicentennial reverse. The detailed image of the Illinois State Capitol building stands proudly in the center, representing one of the most important periods in Lincoln's life. Although this coin has seen circulation, the major architectural details remain visible. Some of the finer design elements show light wear, but the building is still easily recognizable, while the surrounding lettering remains bold and attractive. One of the strongest features of this example is its smooth brown surfaces. Over time, copper-plated coins naturally develop darker brown coloration through exposure to air and handling. Collectors often prefer original brown surfaces because they indicate the coin has not been harshly cleaned or chemically altered. Natural color, combined with honest circulation wear, creates an appealing appearance that reflects decades of history. The rim also deserves careful attention. This coin retains a complete and sharply defined rim, protecting both the obverse and reverse designs from excessive damage. Strong rims are always desirable because they demonstrate that the coin has survived circulation without major edge wear or abuse. Many people wonder how a coin produced only a few years ago could ever reach a value exceeding $180. Zeroth. The answer lies in condition rarity. While hundreds of millions of 2009 bicentennial pennies were struck, very few survive in exceptionally preserved condition with superior eye appeal, outstanding surfaces, and elite certification grades. The highest quality survivors become the focus of fierce competition among advanced collectors whenever they appear at major auctions. Professional grading plays a critical role in establishing value. Reputable third-party grading companies carefully examine every detail, including wear, strike quality, color, surface preservation, and originality. When an extraordinary example receives one of the highest possible grades, registry set collectors often compete aggressively to add it to their collections. That intense demand can drive auction prices to astonishing levels. Strike quality is another important factor, separating ordinary coins from premium examples. A sharply struck 2009 Philadelphia bicentennial penny displays crisp lettering, strong portrait detail, and well-defined architectural features on the Illinois State Capitol building. Coins with bold strikes generally command greater collector interest because they showcase the design exactly as intended by the United States Mint. Collectors also carefully inspect the surfaces under magnification. This very fine example displays only the expected circulation wear without major scratches, corrosion, deep gouges, or environmental damage. Small contact marks are normal for a circulated coin, but the overall appearance remains clean and attractive, helping preserve its collector appeal. If you discover a 2009 Lincoln bicentennial penny, avoid the temptation to clean it. Cleaning almost always lowers collectible value by removing the original surface and leaving tiny scratches that experienced collectors immediately recognize. Even if the coin appears dark or dull, its natural finish is far more desirable than an artificially polished appearance. Proper storage is equally important. Keeping collectible coins in protective holders, away from moisture and fingerprints, helps preserve their condition for years to come. Handling a coin only by its edges is one of the simplest ways to avoid accidental damage that could reduce its value. Should you believe you've found an exceptional example, professional authentication is highly recommended. Certified coins inspire greater buyer confidence and often achieve stronger results at auction because collectors know exactly what they are purchasing. Although the vast majority of 2009 Philadelphia Lincoln bicentennial pennies remain worth only their face value, remarkable examples continue to demonstrate the incredible possibilities within modern coin collecting. A beautifully preserved coin featuring the Illinois State Capitol reverse, smooth original brown surfaces, a complete sharp rim, clear lettering, and attractive very fine detail can become a prized collectible. In today's competitive auction market, elite specimens have reached values exceeding $180,000, reminding every collector that one of the most valuable treasures in American numismatics could be hiding among the ordinary pennies already sitting in a pocket, coin jar, or forgotten collection. Next up, the 1968 with D. Lincoln Memorial penny you find because one ordinary-looking cent could deserve far more attention than its face value suggests. Millions of these coins passed through cash registers, vending machines, and piggy banks across America, but a tiny number have become highly desirable among collectors. When an exceptional example combines rarity, strong collector demand, and a significant mint error, auction prices can climb beyond $140,000, transforming an everyday 1-cent coin into a remarkable collectible. The coin we're examining is the 1968 Lincoln Memorial cent struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark beneath the date. Unlike Philadelphia issues of that era, Denver proudly placed its mint mark on the obverse. If your coin clearly displays the D, you know it was produced at the Denver facility during one of the busiest years for Lincoln's cent production. On the front of the coin, you'll see Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This example is graded in very fine condition, meaning it has experienced honest circulation, but still retains plenty of attractive detail. Lincoln's cheek, jawline, beard, and coat remain well outlined, while the hair above the ear shows moderate smoothing from years of use. Even with circulation wear, the portrait still presents a pleasing appearance. The lettering on the obverse remains one of the coin's strongest features. "In God We Trust" is fully readable across the top. "Liberty" appears clearly to the left of Lincoln. And the date, 1968, is bold and unmistakable. Just beneath the date sits the important D mint mark, confirming that the coin was struck in Denver. Every collector should examine the date and mint mark carefully, as these small details play a major role in identifying collectible varieties. One interesting feature of this particular coin is a noticeable rim nick near the upper left edge of the obverse. Rim marks usually occur after a coin enters circulation and comes into contact with other coins or hard surfaces. While such damage generally reduces value on ordinary coins, documenting these characteristics is important when evaluating an individual specimen. Collectors always distinguish between mint-made features and damage that occurred after the coin left the mint. Another characteristic visible on this example is the presence of small green verdigris spots near Lincoln's throat. Verdigris forms when the copper surface reacts with moisture and environmental conditions over time. These green deposits are common on older copper-based coins and should never be scraped or cleaned away. Attempting to remove them can permanently damage the original surface and significantly reduce collector value. Now turn the coin over to examine the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. At the center stands the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with United States of America above and 1 cent boldly displayed below. The motto, E Pluribus Unum, stretches across the top of the memorial. In this very fine example, the memorial building remains easily recognizable despite moderate circulation wear. The steps leading to the memorial show noticeable smoothing, yet the structure itself remains well-defined. The columns are still visible, and the surrounding lettering remains bold and fully legible. These remaining details demonstrate that the coin has survived decades of circulation while preserving much of its original design. One of the biggest reasons collectors examine 1968 with D. Lincoln cents so carefully is the possibility of discovering valuable mint-era varieties. During the striking process, mechanical problems or die preparation issues occasionally created unusual coins that escaped into circulation. Depending on the type and significance of the error, collector demand can increase dramatically. Genuine mint errors are always authenticated carefully because ordinary circulation damage is often mistaken for a valuable mint mistake. Professional grading services play an essential role in confirming both authenticity and condition. Before a rare error coin reaches a major auction, experts evaluate every detail under magnification. They inspect the strike, surfaces, color, wear, mint mark, and any unusual characteristics to determine whether the feature originated during the minting process or occurred later in circulation. Many people find it difficult to believe that a worn penny could ever approach $140,000 in value. The explanation lies in the combination of rarity, collector demand, certified authenticity, and the importance of the specific error involved. While millions of ordinary 1,968 with D cents exist, only an extremely limited number possess the unique qualities that advanced collectors seek for elite collections. Surface preservation also remains important. Although this example displays moderate circulation wear, its major design elements remain clear enough for accurate identification. Even with the rim nick and verdigris spots, collectors carefully evaluate the overall appearance before determining market desirability. Every coin tells its own story, and experienced numismatists understand how to balance condition, originality, and rarity. If you discover a 1,968 with D. Lincoln Memorial penny, avoid polishing or cleaning it. Cleaning removes the natural surface and often creates tiny scratches that are immediately visible under magnification. Original surfaces, even when slightly toned or darkened, are almost always preferred by collectors over artificially bright coins. Proper storage can also help preserve collectible coins. Protective holders reduce exposure to moisture, fingerprints, and environmental contaminants that can accelerate corrosion or discoloration. Handling coins only by the edges is another simple habit that protects delicate surfaces. If your 1,968 D cent appears unusual or shows a possible mint error, consider having it examined by a reputable coin dealer or submitted to a professional grading service. Authentication not only confirms whether the error is genuine, but also provides buyers with confidence if the coin is eventually offered for sale. Although the overwhelming majority of 1,968 with D. Lincoln Memorial pennies remain worth only a small premium over face value, extraordinary certified error examples continue to capture headlines in the numismatic world. A coin featuring a genuine rare mint error, clear date and mint mark, attractive remaining detail, and verified authenticity can become one of the most sought-after modern Lincoln cents. In today's competitive auction market, exceptional specimens have realized prices exceeding $140,000, proving once again that remarkable treasures can still be hiding in ordinary pocket change, waiting for the right collector to discover them.